Okay, here we are. Let's see and make sure we're live. Let's just check. Oh, I think we are live. Okay, wonderful. Here we are. Okay, wonderful. So today we are, oh, hello, I see people. All right, Yildiz Tugay, hello, hello. And Saddam Daing, and I saw some other comments. There was a Mariam D as well. Okay, so today the theme is silence is golden, right? We're going to do conversation, vocabulary, and quiz. And you might be wondering, what are we going to do in this lesson? Woo! Well, let's see. We'll figure it out. So the English lesson material for today is we will talk about an idiom. We'll use a picture and an idiom to create a conversation. And then we'll use extra pictures, more pictures, to explain the vocabulary and phrases from the conversation. I want to make sure you understand everything that's going on. And, maybe the juiciest part, we'll test you. We'll have a quiz. And today we're going to improve your English. Okay, that's what we do here at Able Lingo. So thank you everyone for joining. And if you guys have questions, comments, feel free to leave them in the chat, and I will be taking a look at the chat so I can respond to you guys. All right, so just a quick peek. Some of the vocabulary and phrases we're going to do today. Get fired. Ooh, ugly. And of course, we're going to summarize and talk about the picture. Contemplate. Silence is golden. Woo, it's an idiom. I love idioms. To obliterate. Ooh, that looks like a juicy one. I'm exhausted. I feel achy. I will smack you. Okay, I gotta stay serious. So, let's start with the idiom. Okay, what in the world does silence is golden mean? Well, let's find out. Silence is golden means zoop. Keep your mouth shut. Don't talk about what you heard. Don't talk about what you saw. Just be quiet. Silence is golden. In other words, it's better to be quiet and avoid speaking. Avoid means to not do it, right? So don't speak. Let's see this idiom in an example. All right. I know you want to tell the boss how ugly his hair is. However, silence is golden. Don't be crazy and get fired. All right. So let's see a couple things. In this conversation, we have the word ugly. And let's see if you guys... Let's see if... Oh, I'm just looking at the comments. Let's see. Saddam Deng says, can you join me? Well, unfortunately on YouTube, there's no way for me to bring you live. This is a lesson. You can type and you can chat and text and stuff. And here I can show much more things than I can on Instagram. Right. Okay, on Instagram, right, I can bring people live, but on YouTube, this is a lesson where you can still participate with your text and questions and talking in the chat, okay? All right, so let's take a look at the word ugly. And let's see other ways to say the word ugly. If you guys have other ways to say how to say ugly, leave it in the chat. Show me in the comments. Okay, so ugly. One way to say ugly is unattractive. You could say, this guy is kind of ugly. You could also say he's kind of creepy and scary. But yeah, he is ugly. All right. So, Miriam D says not beautiful. Right. Right. Sometimes we just talk about something by doing the opposite of something else. So it's not beautiful, right? We can say repulsive. Now this is a pretty strong word, repulsive. If someone or something is repulsive, you're like, it's like you want to move away from it. All right, well, here's a strong one too, hideous. Oh, I think you could use that one to describe this guy. He's a hideous guy, very, very ugly. Right, Yildiz Tugay says bad view. Right, if this guy popped up in front of your window, you would be like, it's a bad view. All right, let's see. And another one is unsightly. All right. So repeat after me. Unattractive. Repulsive. Hideous. Unsightly. All right. So of all of these, I would say these two are the strongest. If you really want to insult someone, you would call them repulsive or hideous, because it just means like super ugly, right? If ugly is right here, repulsive and hideous is like way up here, right? Okay. And unsightly is similar to ugly. It just doesn't make you feel good when you see it. All right. So back in the conversation. However, silence is golden. So however, it's better to just be quiet. Don't be crazy and get fired. All right, so that's one of the phrases we're going to talk about. Get fired. Aha, so the boss, he's pointing at us. So get fired means to, and you guys, what do you think get fired means? What are other ways to say get fired? We could say get terminated. Like, not as in, not terminated as in they're going to kill you, but terminated as in, you know, you can't keep working there. Your employment will be terminated. You could say lose your job. And another way to say it, which is kind of long, but it explains it very well, is you could say put yourself in a situation where the boss ends your employment. Okay. Oh. Okay. Let's see what we have in the comments. To become, let's see, Mariam D says to become job between. Oh, I think what you're trying to say is in between jobs, right? So if you're in between jobs, you're unemployed. Excuse me. Okay, Saddam Deng says get out. Right, if the boss comes up to you and says, get out, you're probably fired, right? All right, Key in English, welcome. Saw you over at Instagram and now you're here on YouTube. Get sacked. Right, that's a nice one. All right, so I don't have a lot of space here, so we'll switch it. Get sacked, right? I got sacked today. I have no money incoming, stuff like that, right? Aha, Miriam D, in between jobs, right? Okay, so that was our example for the idiom. I know you want to tell the boss how ugly his hair is. However, silence is golden. Don't be crazy and get fired. Okay, so now that we know what the idiom silence is golden means, it means keep your mouth shut. You know, just zip. Don't say anything. All right, so let's describe a picture. All right, here we go. All right, I see apples in the comments from Key in English. Ooh, I like apples. Doesn't matter if they're on YouTube or Instagram or real life. I like tasty apples. Okay, so let's take a look at this picture. I'm going to take one quick drink. All right, you guys can help me describe what you see in this picture, right? And let's talk about it. So we have Ruth and we have Mary. And it looks like Ruth is standing up and Mary is sitting down. Right. I see Saddam Deng says Ruth and Mary. So we have two ladies. And let's see, let's start big when we're describing and then we'll go smaller. So when I say start big, let's talk about the area, the environment, the location. All right, so you guys let me know in the comments what you think. You can describe with me and help me out. All right, so if I say this location, I would say the location is near the ocean. You could say it's a beach location. However, the beach is very rocky, right? This might not be the best place to go swimming. If you went swimming here, you'll probably get smashed against the rocks. So it's not a very good place to go swimming. However, it's still a beach. It's close to the ocean. You can see the ocean. The waves are quite large. They're coming in, probably making a nice sound, nice relaxing sound. The time of day, judging by the shadow, which is a little bit long, I'm going to guess like 3 or 4 maybe 2 or 3 p.m., maybe 3 p.m. in the day. I don't know. But we could say Ruth is standing up, Mary is sitting down, and Mary actually has a chair. I would say it's a wooden folding chair. It looks like Ruth's or Mary's coat is draped or hung over the back of the chair. All right, so let's go a little bit smaller. We're going to describe Ruth. Ruth is standing up. She's wearing a hat. And we could say, it's a wide brimmed hat. And the brim is the part that comes in front that blocks the sun. And on Ruth's hat, it's a wide brimmed hat that goes all the way around her hat. Right. And Ruth's shirt is like a tiger. Wait, no, not a tiger. Like a leopard, right? Or a cheetah. Except the colors are a little bit off. But Ruth's shirt is wild. Oh, what a wild shirt, Ruth. And Ruth's pants aren't as wild as her shirt. They're just black pants, and it looks like she has maybe white socks with some sort of design on them and black shoes. Okay. And once again, if you guys want to help me describe what you see in the picture, that would be great. In a moment, we're going to summarize it, but right now we're going to finish describing it. Okay, let me just see. Saddam Dang says, wild cat. Yes, Ruth's shirt is like a wild cat-like, right? It's like a wild leopard. Okay, so Mary, it looks like her clothing is not as wild. It's more relaxed, I would say, more conservative. She has, I don't know if it's a brown coat, probably long sleeve. They both have long sleeve, which makes me think it's a little bit chilly out. Might be a little bit cold out today. And Mary's hair is tied up, and it's tied in the back. And I never have to tie up my hair because I have such short hair. Okay, and let's see. Mary's sitting down. She's looking out towards the ocean. Ruth is also looking out towards the ocean. And we can describe Ruth as maybe leaning against the chair, or she has her hand on Mary's shoulder or her hand on the chair. She could be resting. All right. Let's see. Coney Fram says hello. Hello and welcome. Mariam D says there are some shelves on the beach. Maybe you want to say shells. S-H-E-L-L-S. Shells on the beach. That's possible, sure. And there are a lot of rocks. And there are like mini pools right here, pools of water. Those are called tide pools. So in the night or whenever the tide comes in, the tide is just when the ocean shifts and it moves all the way in. In the next part of the day, it moves back out and it leaves some of the water behind. So that's called a tide pool. So this is Ruth and Mary. Okay, and yes, Saddam Dang, the water is so cold. I would agree, the water is probably very cold. So you probably wouldn't want to swim for a couple reasons. One, the water is going to smash you into the rocks. And two, the water is so cold that it wouldn't be very enjoyable to swim. So let's see, let's summarize this picture. And summarize just means to take information and condense it down, make it into a smaller piece. So if we just wanted to summarize the picture, we could say two women are looking at the ocean in the afternoon. One is standing and the other is sitting. It's a nice day and they are enjoying the beautiful view. Okay? So that's a simple description of what's happening in the picture. And if we wanted, we could add the names. Two women, Ruth and Mary, are looking at the ocean. One is standing and the other is sitting. It's a nice day and they are enjoying the beautiful view. And Saddam Dang says, how can we bath when the water's so cold? Better to go inside and take a hot shower. Okay, so why don't you guys repeat after me? And I will pause after I read it so you guys can repeat after me. Here we go. Two women are looking at the ocean in the afternoon. One is standing and the other is sitting. It's a nice day and they are enjoying the beautiful view. Okay, so if you did pronunciation, show me some apples in the comments. Okay, let's see. Coney Fram says, I feel like both had a lot of memories about the beach. Yes, I would say that's a very good observation. I guess we didn't really talk about the age of the women. How old do you think these women are? Let me know in the comments. What do you think? How old do you think these women are? Or what is their age? And what do you think their relationship is? I would say they're probably friends, right? They're close together. But how old do you think they are? We'll take a look. We'll give some clues. We can look at Ruth's hand, right? There are a lot of wrinkles on it. And we can look at Mary's hair. It looks like it's gray hair. So how old do you think these two ladies are? All right, Saddam Dang says, I think both are 50 plus and they may be friends. Sure. Coney Fram says, I think Ruth is the mother. And Miriam says 60s. Sure. And Coney Fram, Ruth is the mother. It's possible, right? Yeah, maybe they're sisters, maybe they're friends, maybe they're neighbors, maybe they're co-workers, maybe they're... I don't know. There's a lot of possibilities for their relationship. Okay, so I would agree they're probably older, right? And if we describe body shape, we could say that Ruth is a little bit large. She's kind of fat. We could say, well, yeah, she's a little bit overweight. And Mary, we can't tell too much because she's sitting down, but she looks a little bit more slim and trim. Okay, so now that we did the picture, we talked about the picture. Now let's create a conversation. Let's see, what are they talking about? All right, Saddam Dang says Ruth is, not are. Am I right? Right. If you're going to talk about Ruth, you're going to say Ruth is. You can say Ruth is tall. Ruth is happy. But if you say are, you have to have more than one person. So you could say Ruth and Mary are friends. But if you're going to use are, you need at least two subjects, at least two things to talk about. Okay, so let's make a conversation. Woo! This is one of my favorite parts. Okay, Ruth starts the conversation. She says, how long are we going to contemplate the waves? I'm bored. Mary, silence is golden, Ruth. You're obliterating this beautiful moment. Ruth, you say silence is golden, but I'm hungry, exhausted, achy, and really need to use a toilet. Mary, if you keep talking, I'm gonna take this chair and smack you over the head with it. Ruth, silence is golden. Mary. Okay, so first thing I'm gonna do is make the idioms bold. And I think there's a question in the comments. Mariam D says, why can't I see other comments that are typed? I don't know. I don't know if you're maybe using it on your phone, or I'm not really sure. Yeah, I'm not sure. Coney Fram says, I wonder who brought the chair. Right. Maybe. Maybe Ruth carried it for Mary, or maybe they carried it together. All right, so we're going to make the idioms bold in this conversation. And I'm going to take a look through, make sure I don't have any mistakes, because I want to say the conversation at regular speed. So here we go. Let's see. Okay, so here we go. Ruth starts the conversation. It's a beautiful place. They're by the ocean. They're listening to the waves. And Ruth says, how long are we going to contemplate the waves? I'm bored. Mary, silence is golden, Ruth. You're obliterating this beautiful moment. Ruth, you say silence is golden. Make it bold. You say silence is golden, but I'm hungry, exhausted, achy, and really need to use a toilet. Mary, if you keep talking, I'm gonna take this chair and smack you over the head with it. Ruth, silence is golden, Mary. Okay, so this is the conversation between Ruth and Mary, and it's not as peaceful as the picture looks, right? Okay, all right, let's see. Oh, and welcome to, it looks like Bhaskar Yadav Media joined and Huda Ahmad joined. All right, welcome. Huda Ahmad says, interesting conversation. A crazy conversation, a little bit different than maybe we were expecting from a nice, peaceful picture. Okay, so let's use this conversation. First thing, I made the idioms bold so you can see where they stand out and how they're used in the conversation. And once again, the theme for today, the idiom for today is silence is golden. But there may be other words that you don't understand. And I'm going to guess contemplate possibly is one of them. So let's take a look at the word contemplate. And if you guys know what it means, then please type in the comments and let us know. Aha! Mariam D, contemplate equals meditate. Woo! All right, so let's go to our separate screen with pictures. All right, so contemplate is a verb. It's an action, right? It's something that you're doing. And so I'm going to put it here as to contemplate. Right. Repeat after me. To contemplate. All right. And if you did pronunciation, whenever you repeat after me, put some apples in the comments and it lets me know that you guys are participating. Okay. So here are other ways. Oh, wow. You guys are so fast. Wonderful. Miriam D says contemplate equals meditate. Great. Bhaskar Yadav Media says ponder. Aha. And he also says to think deeply. Okay, all right, so I have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 different ways to say it. So let's see, to contemplate. You could say to look at, like you look at something, you're just, your eyes are viewing something and you're thinking about it. You could say to view, like this guy over here, he's viewing the laptop and at the same time he's probably thinking. It's using your eyes plus your brain, right? So you're thinking at the same time. You could say to examine, to inspect, to observe, to scrutinize. All right. And to contemplate here is specifically to contemplate the waves. So we're focused on the action, what they're doing. They're looking at them. They're viewing them, right? They're not just sitting in their house all by themselves thinking about them. They're also watching and looking at the waves. So the options that I came up with for to contemplate show the action that the person is doing with their body to look at the waves or look at whatever they're looking at, right? And Mariam D says, but deeply. Yes, very deeply. Okay, so to look at and to view are pretty simple. To examine, right? If you have like maybe your phone or something and you examine it, you look at it very closely because you want to, I don't know, get information from it or something. All right, to inspect. Think about when you go through airport security. And they want to stop you, raise your arms, stay there, I need to look in your bag and all that stuff. So inspect is a perfect word when you go through airport security and they want to inspect your luggage. They want to examine your luggage. To observe is basically the same thing to look at, to view. All right, I see Kayala Amirli says hello again. I say hello. All right, Bhaskar Yadav Media says to search. Sure, that could work, especially if you're examining something and maybe like at the airport, they're looking for things that you can't bring on the plane, right? So they're searching for, they're maybe looking and inspecting. Now, scrutinize is kind of a unique one. It's similar to examine. You're thinking about something and you're trying to make up your mind about it. Is it good? Is it bad? Is it just, you know, not good or bad, but you're scrutinizing something. Let's scrutinize the business deal. Will it be successful? Let's scrutinize the work that they did on our house. Was it good? Do I like it? Don't I like it? Stuff like that. So this is contemplate. If we look at the pictures, right here we have a guy, and you guys help me. If you guys want to describe the pictures, I would love to see comments. Right here we have a guy. He is looking at a laptop, right? And he is contemplating the laptop. He's examining the laptop. He's scrutinizing the information on the laptop. This lady, I would say, is a good one for what you guys said before, meditate and to ponder. Bhaskar said to think deeply. Mariam said to meditate. Right, she's thinking about something. Oh, I have a date tonight. I'm so excited. Will he bring flowers? Will he be nice? Oh, I hope he's tall. I hope he's handsome. Right, so they're thinking about something. And this picture down here, we have a couple, two people. Mariam D says to consider. Yes, there's so many options, right? And each one can be specific to a different situation. Very good. Okay, so these two people are sitting on a bench, and it looks like a cat or maybe a dog is with them. And in the background, I think it's the Golden Gate Bridge. So this is a beautiful view, similar to before the picture. They were looking at the ocean. They were looking out over the ocean, and here they're looking over the San Francisco Bay and the Golden Gate Bridge. So they could say they're contemplating the view. They're observing the scenery. They're taking it all in and just, you know, relaxing. Okay, so let's go back to the conversation. Here we go. All right, Bhaskar Yadav Media, green apples. All right, I love apples. Okay, here we go. All right, so the first part was, how long are we going to contemplate the waves? I'm bored. So she could have said, how long are we going to sit here and watch the waves, or observe the waves, or look at the waves, or examine? I'm bored. And bored is the opposite of excited, right? So she doesn't want to stay any longer. Okay, so Mary says to Ruth, silence is golden, Ruth. In other words, oh, well, let's talk about it. Let's talk about different ways to say silence is golden. Ooh, I think the pictures speak for themselves. But if you guys could help me in the comments, what does it mean silence is golden? I have 4 different ways to communicate this idiom, silence is golden. All right, and I'll be looking at the comments as I go. If you guys have other ways, I'll talk about them. You really helped me out before on the word contemplate. So here we go. Silence is golden. A simple way is just to say, keep quiet, right? Another way is don't say anything. Silence, zip. Silence is golden. And more of a rude way to do it is to say, keep your mouth shut. Right. Mariam D says, not talking too much. Right. Not talking. Right. Okay. Another way you could just say to describe it would be to enjoy the peace and quiet. Right. So let's do pronunciation. And if you guys repeat after me, put some apples in the comments. All right. So here we go. Repeat after me. Keep quiet. Don't say anything. Keep your mouth shut. Enjoy the peace and quiet. And of course, the idiom itself, silence is golden. And anything that is compared to gold or a precious metal is usually going to be something that is good. So they're saying here that silence is good. And in the comment, let's see, Layla Almeida says silence it's important. Yes, it is. Bhaskar Yadav Media, silence is golden equals don't talk much. Okay, right. So I think you guys understand this idiom. Let's talk about the pictures. Let's see. The most peaceful one are, well, these two are pretty peaceful. This lady, she's probably just like, shh. So maybe if you're at a movie theater and someone started talking on their phone, and the person in front of them is very peaceful, and they turn around and say, "Excuse me," shh, right? And this person right here, maybe she works in the library, and she says, "Shh, Mariam D, right on, hush, hush." Be quiet. So this lady, she looks very respectful to us. You can't talk in the library. Please keep it down. Hush. Right? Yildiz Tugay, you should know that where you need to speak. Right? You should know when and where you should speak and when and where you should not speak. Now this girl, maybe she's also in the movie theater and someone is talking on their phone. Right? Well, the movie is going on and this girl, she has had enough. It's the last straw. That's an idiom. She's had too much. And she turns around and says, "Shh, get off the phone." And the person on the phone is like, I gotta go. This freaky kid in front of me just told me to be quiet. Okay, so I would say of these three pictures, this girl is the most aggressive. She's not just saying hush, she's saying shut up. Okay. All right, so silence is golden. Back to the conversation. So Mary continues, "Silence is golden, Ruth. You're obliterating this beautiful moment." Here's another opportunity. Obliterating. So you're obliterating this beautiful moment. And here it's going to be an action, right? So the verb is to obliterate. Let's put it over here. Obliterate. Okay, any idea what the word obliterate means? Miriam D says ruin. I like that answer. We might see that in just a moment as well. Okay, so let's take a look at to obliterate. First, let's do the pronunciation. Okay, everybody repeat after me. To obliterate. Okay, so before I put the words, if we take a quick look at the pictures, obliterate probably isn't a good thing. Okay, so let's see. I have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 ways that are similar to obliterate. Here we go. To destroy. To ruin. Just like Mariam D said, ruin, right? To annihilate. To exterminate. To demolish. To decimate. Okay, so all of these words are not exactly the same meaning as obliterate, but they're very similar, right? The whole idea is you have something and you, it's gone, it's destroyed, right? So destroy, you have something and you break it apart, you tear it apart, you destroy it, you ruin it, it's no longer in good condition. Annihilate. Ooh, annihilate can be kind of violent. So if we're talking about this picture here, maybe there was a war and they dropped a bomb and it annihilated the whole city. It just killed everyone, right? Destroy and ruin could work well with this picture. They ruined the glass. They punched their fish through the glass. They smashed it. Exterminate. Well, you can use that with people or with bugs, maybe. If you have a problem with roaches or ants or something like that, you can call a person called an exterminator, and they come and they clean your house and put chemicals and stuff like that. But sometimes people will say it for killing other people as well. They want to exterminate someone. Demolish is similar to destroy. The word demolish is often used with buildings. Like if there's a very old building, kind of like in this picture down here, let's say they want to destroy this building, demolish it so that they can build a new building. They would have what's called a controlled demolition, where they put like dynamite and stuff, but they do it very carefully, and so the building will fall straight down and then they can build something new. All right, that's to demolish. Decimate could be used, it's like destroy. Like you could say the sickness decimated the population. So before the sickness, the town had 50,000 people. But after the sickness came, it decimated the population, and there were only 10,000 people still alive. So decimate means to destroy a large portion of maybe the population or something like that. Okay, so these pictures have the idea for obliterate, which means to destroy. Okay, so let's do some pronunciation. Repeat after me. To destroy. To ruin. To annihilate. To exterminate. To demolish. To decimate. Right. Okay. All right, let's see. Let's take a look at the comments. Bhaskar Yadav Media says decompose. Oh, that's the right idea. Decompose would probably be over a longer period of time, like the body or something was rotten and it decomposed. But it's the same idea. Something is being destroyed, just it takes a longer time. Saddam Dang says, thanks for giving us time. All right, thanks for watching and thanks for hanging out with Ablelingo. Let's see, Bhaskar Yadav said, he gave me an apple, so that means he did the pronunciation. Wonderful. Okay. All right, so let's continue with the conversation. All right, we just did obliterating, right? So silence is golden, Ruth. Be quiet, Ruth. You're obliterating this beautiful moment. You're ruining this moment by complaining about being bored, right? You're destroying this moment. Okay. So Ruth continues. You say silence is golden. So in other words, you say it's a good idea to be quiet, but I'm hungry, exhausted, achy, and really need to use a toilet. Okay, so let's take a look at a couple words here. Let's start with exhausted. I'm pretty sure you guys know what hungry means. I want to eat food. Exhausted. Can you guys tell me other ways to say exhausted? If I feel exhausted, or Ruth, she says, I'm exhausted. What does it mean? What does the word exhausted mean? Let's see, let's put it over here. Exhausted. What does that mean? Let's go to our slide. Bhaskar Yadav Media says fatigue. Right. Physical fatigue. Something with our body, right? Okay. Yildiz Tugay says extremely tired. Bhaskar Yadav Media says tired. Mariam D says need to rest and call Mother call Mother Nature. Tired, full of pain. Ooh, I think she's also doing achy and having to use the toilet. Okay. Layla Almeida says tired. Right. Okay. Oh, Bhaskar Yadav Media says dog tired. Okay. Oh, I think we're going to repeat some of these in my list as well. Great job, guys. Okay, so I'm exhausted. You could say, and I'm going to put it in a full sentence so that it's something that you can use instead of just a word all by itself. They're short sentences, but they're full sentences. You could say, let's see, I got to change my keyboard. There we go. Okay, you can say, I'm tired out. I'm worn out. I think we heard this one, dog tired. I'm ready to drop. You could also say, I'm drained. Okay, right. And let's see, we'll add one more that Bhaskar Yadav said. You could say, I'm fatigued. Right. Okay. So the first two end with out, right? I'm tired out, as if my good energy just went out the window. I'm not necessarily upset or angry, but I'm tired. I'm very tired. So my energy that I can get things done, I can do things, it's like my battery level is very low. I have low battery right now. So I'm tired out. I'm worn out. I'm dog tired. Is just think of a dog who's been running and running and running, and then they just and they fall and they fall asleep, right? Your dog tired. You're physically, you just want to sleep or relax. Okay? I'm ready to drop. As in, I'm so tired. If I try to walk, I'm going to pass out and just fall on the ground. All right? Okay. I'm drained. Drained. Think of like a bottle, maybe a bottle of water. And if the water is your level of energy and you pour all the water out, then it's drained out, right? See if I can put it in the camera. So as the water drains out, if the water is your energy, I'm drained. Your body's low, very low on energy, right? And I'm fatigued. Fatigue has a good sense of physical, like your body is very tired, you're exhausted, you're worn out. All right, let's do, Saddam Deng says feeling sleepy. Sure, that's very similar, right? Very similar. All right, so let's do some pronunciation. And if you do pronunciation, put some apples in the comments and let me know that you guys are participating. I'm exhausted. I'm worn out. Whoops, I'm sorry. I'm tired out. I'm worn out. I'm dog tired. And I'm just going to pause for a moment. If you notice my energy when I say it, I'm not just saying, I'm exhausted, I'm tired out. I'm trying to put the low energy in my voice, how people would feel when they say these things. Okay? I'm ready to drop. I'm drained. Oh, work was so difficult today. I'm just drained. I don't think I can take any more. I'm fatigued. Okay, so I see lots of apples. Wonderful. That means you guys are doing pronunciation with me. Fabulous. Okay, so let's take a quick look through the pictures. Okay. I think all of these pictures very well fit the sentence, I'm exhausted, and all the rest. Okay, so this guy, he's just had too much, and he's just, it's difficult for him even to hold up his head. He has to hold it in his hand. He's exhausted. This guy, he looks, so it looks like kind of a early part of the day, but he's exhausted. It's just too tiring. It's difficult. And these people, I would say it's very easy to see why they're exhausted. All right, I'm going to take a drink of water. Can you guys tell me in this picture right here, why are these people exhausted? Why are they fatigued? Why are they worn out? You tell me in the comments. Okay, so this picture right here, all of the runners, why are they exhausted? Why are they drained? I'm sure you guys know. I'm just waiting for the comments to show up. Just look, they're bending over. These people are laying on the ground. They're like, oof. Let's see. Leila Almeida says they are exercising. Yes. Right, Saddam Tanks, because a lot of work. Right. So they've been running and running. Bhaskar says they've been exercising, right? And they have numbers, it looks like, in kind of running uniforms. So maybe they were racing each other. And now at the end of the race, they're like, I can't take it. I'm dog tired. I'm ready to drop. And they did drop. 1, 2, 3. 3 people dropped. Right. Yildiz Tugay says after the training, they're exhausted. Right. So all of these here, and I'm exhausted, could fit. We fit the situation very well. Okay, all right. Thanks for your comments. Wonderful. All right, let's go back to the conversation. We're making our way through. All right, so we did exhausted. But Ruth is many things. She's hungry. She's exhausted. She's achy. Ooh, let's talk about achy. And we're going to make a full sentence. So Ruth could have said, I feel achy. All right. So before I get to my list, can you guys tell me, what does the word achy mean? And since Ruth is putting it with exhausted, hungry, and really need to use a toilet, it's probably not a positive thing. So you guys tell me, what do you think achy means? Let's see, Mariam D says hurt. I think that's going in the right direction, yes. So let's see. I'll make the full sentence. Good to know how to say it in a full sentence. I feel achy. And if someone says it, they're probably not going to go, I feel achy. No, they're going to say, oh man, I feel achy. Right. Okay, Yildiz Tugay says pain. Right. Mariam D says painful. Right. Okay, so you guys have an idea what achy is. I'm going to give you some full sentences that they're short, but they still have the same idea for achy. Okay, here we go. Let's see. So the first one, I feel achy. Then you could say my body is sore. Okay, so sore, if we're describing something as sore, my arm is sore, my elbow is sore, maybe my head is sore, someone banged me. So it's pain, there's pain, it hurts. And the thing about achy is that achy is kind of a specific kind of pain. It's not like someone took a knife and stabbed you, right? That would be like a shooting pain, like immediate pain. Achy is kind of like a low level of pain, but it keeps going and going and going. So if your body's sore, you might not have like pain that makes you scream, but you have pain. It just feels very uncomfortable. Okay. All right, let's see. Bhaskar Yadav Media says, my body is sore, right? Saddam Deng says, not feeling good, right? Not feeling well. Bhaskar Yadav Media, my knees are sore, right? The people, exactly. This picture right here, this guy's probably saying, my knees are so sore. Okay, so here's another way you could say, I don't feel well. And this one is kind of a broad one. It could have different meanings in different situations. But if we're talking about achy, or if you're holding your body or your shoulder and you're like, ugh, and you say, I don't feel well. Or like this guy right here, he's rubbing his knees and he says, I don't feel well. Then the person he's talking to would probably know that his knees hurt, or his knees are sore, or he feels achy. All right? I can't get comfortable. All right. If you say I can't get comfortable, sometimes when we're sick, or if we have maybe an injury from sports or something, it's like no matter how we sit or lay, it's just not comfortable because we feel achy. We have like a low level of pain, but it's enough pain to make us feel uncomfortable in whatever situation or ever position we're sitting. Okay, let's see. Saddam Deng says, what is the difference between good and well? Well, they both mean good, right? So something is good. I feel good. I am well. They're very similar. They're very similar. I'm not going to go too far off because I need to stay focused on my lesson, but just keep in mind that good and well are very similar, right? Okay, and they're a positive thing. I feel good. I feel well. Okay, let's see. The next one is more specific. You could say my back hurts. All right, like Bhaskar Yadav Media, I've got pain in my lower back, right? And more specific, you could say my feet hurt. And you could say any part of your body, right? My head hurts, my nose hurts, my elbow hurts, my toe hurts, everything. Okay, so this guy, we kind of talked a little bit. His knees probably hurt, probably sore, and he has what do you call it? A knee, kind of like a knee brace, similar to a brace, but it's like a knee wrap to try to make it more comfortable. And this guy fits well for let's see, this one fits well for lower back pain. Okay, let's see. Mariam D, well is adverb. Okay, all right. So I'll try to do a quick explanation of good versus well. Okay, they both have the same kind of positive vibe, positive energy, right? But good is an adjective. So I feel good or I am good. And well works more as an adverb. And an adverb describes a verb or an adjective. So if you say he jumps well, the action, the verb is jumps, and we're saying he does it well. And well is the adverb that describes the verb. You could say, well, you would be understood to say he jumps good, but it's not quite correct English. People still use it all the time though. But if you want to describe how does he jump, how does he play, how does he run, how does she think, how does she study, you would say well, because well is adverb and it describes the verb, which is the noun, or which is the action verb, okay? All right. Okay, Yildiz Tugay says there's aching in my knees. There's an aching pain in my knees. All right, back to the conversation. All right, so Ruth, you say silence is golden, but I'm hungry, exhausted, achy, and really need to use a toilet. And I think, need to use a toilet, I think in the comments before, let's see, someone said, where was it? It was Mariam, I think she said, call of nature, right? I'm looking back through the comments. Okay, another way to say need to use a toilet is, you could say, you could say there's, or you could say nature is calling, right? This is similar to I need to use a toilet. I have to use the bathroom. I need to, I gotta go. So that's similar to use a toilet, nature is calling. Okay, all right, let's move forward. Oh, now the conversation gets a little bit violent. Okay. Oh, Bhaskar Yadavmita says I've got to go to Boo. Right? Or you could say number 1 or number 2, depending on what you need to do in the bathroom. All right. So Mary says, if you keep talking, I'm gonna take this chair and smack you over the head with it. Very briefly and quickly, gonna stands for going to, right? Going to would be the correct English, but what do we know about native English speakers and advanced speakers? They don't speak correct English all the time, right? So, gonna is the same as going to, and it's just easier to say. And especially since it looks like Mary is getting a little bit upset because she's talking about smacking Ruth. And we'll talk about smack in a moment. But so she says, I'm going to take this chair. So gonna is for more informal, right? It's very easy English, kind of, it's incorrect English, but everybody uses it, right? If you really want to be formal, then you can say going to. But you can practice just how much easier it is to say, I'm gonna smack you versus I'm going to smack you. I'm gonna. It's just very quick. Okay. All right. So she says, take this chair, the chair right here, and smack you over the head with it. All right. So let's talk about smack. And I think Mariam D says to hit. Yes, an act of violence. Okay. So let's make a sentence. Ruth might have said, I will smack you. But not with the fist. She said with the chair. Okay. In the comments, Yildiz Tugay says, things going wild. Things are getting crazy between Ruth and Mary. Such a peaceful picture. Such a violent relationship. Okay, so I will smack you. Other ways to say I will smack you. Like Mariam said, to hit. If we made a full sentence and it's going to be in the future because she's threatening her, right? She's saying, I'm going to do something bad to you. I will hit you with the chair. All right, let's see. Another way is I will, similar, not exactly the same, but similar. I will punch you. And if we say punch, we can think about boxing gloves like this, or punch would be with a fist that's closed. If you can see my hand, it's closed. It's not like an open hand. It's like this, a fist. That would be to punch, right? If you say, I will smack you, it could be punch, but it could also be with an open hand, like, okay? But either way, we have violent action. All right, let's see. Saddam Deng says, break up. Yildiz Tugay says, I will beat you. Saddam Deng says, I will kick you. Right. Bhaskar Yadav says, I'll knock you down. Saddam Deng says, I will trash you. Whoa, wow, you guys are awesome. And so violent. Okay, let's see. So I will punch you. You can say, I will slap you. And slap is specifically going to be with an open hand. Like, whoosh, whoosh. You slap with an open hand, but you punch with a closed fist. So slap and punch, right? And I'm not going to hit myself. All right, I will slap you. I will thump you. Thump is kind of informal, but think of like a hammer. Funk, funk. I'm going to beat you up, right? I will strike you. And strike here just means to hit, right? And in the conversation, she's going to hit with the chair. Let's see. We have a question. Saddam Deng says, what is the difference between slap and thrash? All right, let me add it first. I will thrash you. Okay, so slap could just be like one time. One, whoosh, right, on the face. One slap. Maybe more slaps, whoosh, 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 right? But a slap is, it's not as violent as to thrash. If you thrash someone, you probably kick them, you hit them, you beat them. Maybe you use an object and you hit them with something. You really just mess them up, right? You beat them up, right? That's thrash. Thrash is like very violent, very, very violent, okay? Slap is kind of like whoosh, right? Which is violent too, but not as violent. Okay. Saddam Deng gives me apples and grapes. Woo! I like grapes too. Wonderful. Okay. So all of these things have in common that is violence, right? Someone is trying to hurt someone else or communicate with them using violence, right? There are different levels. Punch, right? Hit could be the same thing. Hit, right? Or you could hit with your elbow. You could hit with your head, right? Slap is probably the least violent here. It's open hand, right? That's slap, right? And thump is pretty violent. Strike, I'm going to strike you. And thrash. Thrash is pretty strong. Probably the strongest one here. Because I'm really just going to knock you apart. I'm going to break you apart, throw you around, and throw you in the dumpster. And kick your ass. That would be thrash. Okay, so here we can say the lady is punching the guy, and the guy's like, right? And she was kind enough to put boxing gloves on. Here it looks like this guy is slapping the other guys. Okay, let's see a question, Mariam. How about to spank? All right, spank is usually with an open hand as well. And when we talk about spank, it's usually in the situation of like spanking a child, which in my book is still hitting a child. I don't like to hit children. I don't think that's acceptable. But the idea of spanking is that a child does something wrong and you spank them. And it's usually on the bottom, on their butt, and to spank. So that's to spank, and it's usually with an open hand. So it's similar to slap. Slap is like usually to the face, slap, and spank is more like to their bottom, to their butt. All right, let's see. Bhaskar Yadav Media, I would rather Roman Reigns thrashed Brock Lesnar. I think Brock Lesnar is a famous wrestler. Okay, let's see. Yildiz Tugay, slap is specific for women when they get pissed off with boys. Right? Right? And it can go both ways, right? When I was a police officer, we get called between people are fighting, maybe a woman and her husband, and I was surprised at how many women will hit their husbands as well. And they hit each other, they slap each other, and they hurt each other, and crazy. Okay. All right, Mariam D says, thanks for the explanation. You're welcome. Hopefully it was understandable. And Saddam Deng says, WWE is fake totally. Okay. But you have to admit they're in really good shape, right? They're really good shape. Okay. Let's stay focused here. Okay, so repeat after me. And give me apples if you repeat. I will smack you. I will hit you. I will punch you. I will slap you. I will thump you. I will strike you. And the most powerful one, I will thrash you. Thrash is like really violent, really violent. Okay. All right, so let's go back to our conversation. I see some apples. Great, that means you guys are doing pronunciation. Okay, so Mary is not so kind. Woo. If you keep talking, I'm going to take this chair and smack you over the head with it. I'm going to smash you over the head with it. I'm going to hit you over the head with it. We can't really say punch. We can't really say slap. Because if you grab a chair, like in WWE, the fake wrestlers, they take the chair and they smack someone. They hit someone. They maybe thrash someone with it. That's possible. Okay. All right. And Ruth ends the conversation. Silence is golden, Mary. So the conversation starts with Ruth complaining. And then Mary gets pissed off. And then Ruth... Silence is golden, Mary. Okay, so I'm going to redo the conversation at regular speed. Follow along. Now that we know what everything means, right? We talked about everything in this conversation, just about. Okay, so here we go. Ruth says, how long are we going to contemplate the waves? I'm bored. So in other words, how long are we going to sit here watching the waves? Mary, silence is golden, Ruth. You're obliterating this beautiful moment. In other words, Ruth, it's better just to be quiet. Enjoy the peace. It's a wonderful place. You're destroying this beautiful moment. You're ruining this beautiful moment. Ruth, you say silence is golden, but I'm hungry, exhausted, achy, and really need to use the toilet. So Ruth says, in other words, you say it's better to keep my mouth shut, but I need to eat. I'm so tired. I'm fatigued. My body hurts. My back hurts. My toe hurts. My pinky hurts. And I really have a strong call of nature. Okay, let me just move this. All right. And Mary responds, if you keep talking, I'm going to take this chair and smack you over the head with it. In other words, if you keep chattering, I'm going to take this chair and hit you over the head with it. I'm going to smash you over the head with it. Mary's getting violent. Okay, Ruth, silence is golden, Mary. So, let's see. Ruth says, in other words, Ruth says, Mary, it's better to be quiet. Don't threaten me with the chair. All right, let's take a look at the comments. Layla Almeida says, Mary is so rude. Mary is so violent. Yes, she is. She looks peaceful sitting on the chair, but she has evil intentions. Okay. Bhaskar Yadav Media says, Mary is a peace-loving lady. Well, as long as Ruth stays quiet, I guess. Mariam D says, she told back Mary the same expression to her. Right. So Mary was the first one to say, silence is golden, Ruth. Like, I'm telling you to be quiet. But then Ruth uses it against Mary and says, silence is golden, Mary. I'm telling you, don't threaten me with the chair. If you say you're going to hit me with the chair, because if you look at the picture, it looks to me that Ruth is bigger than Mary. Maybe they're going to get some WWE action. Okay. All right. So let's see where we are. We studied this conversation and picture like crazy. Oh, are you guys ready for the quiz? Oh. All right. If you guys are ready for the quiz, give me some apples in the comments. We're going to see if you guys were listening. Were you paying attention? Woo! All right. If you're ready for the quiz, show me some apples in the comments. I'm just going to read another comment. Leila Almeida says, in this situation, the silence is golden. All right. Saddam Dang gives me a lot of apples. I think he's ready for the quiz. All right. Let me just get set up here. Oh, yeah. Okay. All right. Here we go. We're going to start with the quiz. And if you guys were here last time, I'm just going to briefly explain what we're going to do. There will be five questions. 5 questions to test your knowledge. So I will read the question and I will read the answer choices. And while I'll give you some time and I will play music like this. Okay. Okay. And when the music stops, I will tell you the answer and then we'll talk about it. Okay? So here we go. Let me get my quiz ready. And I'm going to start right away once I show it on the screen. Here we go. Okay. Which answer is not a similar way to say silence is golden? Here are your choices. Keep quiet. Don't say anything. Keep your mouth shut. Learn to act quickly. Enjoy the peace and quiet. Okay, so these are the choices. Which answer is not a similar way to say silence is golden? Time for the music. Let's see. You can't quite see. Aha. Let me see if I can zoom in. Saddam Dang says we're unable to see. Zoom it, please. All right, give me just a moment. See if I can do it. Give me a moment. This is about as big as I can make it, but I will try to make it a little bit bigger. Just if you guys can be patient with me for a moment. Let's see if I can make it a little bit bigger. All right, give me just a sec. Thank you for letting me know that it's a little bit unclear. I will try to make it a little bit easier to see. All right, that's probably going to be about the best I can do right now. All right, let me just adjust again. Okay, all right, thanks for your patience. We'll give this a try. All right, okay, so, so we have some answers. Okay, yeah, and you guys can say A, B, C, D, or E, that's fine. All right, so which answer is not a similar way to say silence is golden? All right. Ding, let's check it. Right. This one is not a similar way to say silence is golden. So that means everything else is a different way to say silence is golden. Keep quiet. Don't say anything. Keep your mouth shut. Enjoy the peace and quiet. So let's take a look back at what we studied. Silence is golden. It's all right here. Keep quiet. Don't say anything. Keep your mouth shut. Enjoy the peace and quiet. Right. Okay. So, it doesn't say anything about learn to act quickly. That would kind of be the opposite. Instead of like pause and be quiet, it's learn to act quickly would be moving, taking action. Okay. All right. You guys, I see your answers in the comments. Okay, here we go. Let's go to question number 2. In the conversation picture, what was the time of day and location? Your choices are midnight at a local fruit market, afternoon near the ocean, evening on top of a mountain, morning in front of a lake, midday in the middle of a city. So in the conversation picture, what was the time of day and location? Let's start the music. Okay. All right. So in the conversation picture, what was the time of day and location? So we're talking about the clock and their place, right? The setting, the time and location. And the answer is afternoon near the ocean, right? Okay. So midnight at a local fruit market? No. Evening on top of a mountain? No. Morning in front of a lake? No. Lake has water, but we need an ocean. Midday in the middle of a city? No, not so much. So let's go back and take a look at the picture to make sure we agree. All right. So if we look at the shadow, it's kind of long, which means that the sun is starting to go down a little bit. So it's afternoon and near the ocean. Okay, well done, guys. All right, let's go back to the quiz. All right. Okay, let's go to question. Let's see. Saddam Dang says, what? We have to answer opposite or similar words? No, just answer what the question says and choose the best answer. All right, so here we go. Question number 3. Okay, I'll stay serious. Why was Mary upset with Ruth? Because Ruth was ruining the moment. Because Ruth was eating loudly. Because Ruth was blocking the view. Because Ruth smelled bad. Because Ruth was whispering quietly. So why was Mary upset with Ruth? Time for the music. Okay. All right. So why was Mary upset with Ruth? In other words, why was Mary a little bit angry? Well, maybe very, very angry if she's ready to grab a chair. So why was Mary upset with Ruth? Well, it was because Ruth was ruining the moment, right? She was obliterating the good energy. She was destroying the good energy. All right. Because Ruth was eating loudly, maybe Ruth does eat loudly, but we don't know anything about that. Because Ruth was blocking the view, no, that can't work because Ruth was actually standing next to Mary and she wasn't blocking Mary at all. Because Ruth smelled bad, it's possible, but that's not what they were talking about. And because Ruth was whispering quietly, no, that didn't work either. Okay, so we can go back to the conversation and we can look and make sure our answer makes sense. She was upset because you're obliterating this beautiful moment. You're just making things bad. Okay, so here we go. Ooh, let's go back to the quiz. All right, we're going to continue question number 4 of 5. If I feel exhausted, I most likely want to climb a mountain, ride a bicycle, go to work, watch television, take a nap. Okay, so the question is, if I feel exhausted, I most likely want to. Which one is the answer? What do you guys think? Oh, I see answers. Right, take a nap. Because I'm just physically tired. I need to recharge my batteries. If you think of your body like a cell phone, you need to charge your cell phone, right? Because it's low on battery. We need to recharge our body energy. So take a nap. Okay, so exhausted. Let's take a look. where we talked about exhausted. Here we are. I'm exhausted. I'm tired out. I'm worn out. I'm dog tired. I'm ready to drop. I'm drained. I'm fatigued. Okay, so the answer was take a nap. Because exhausted means to feel really tired, right? Physically tired. Fatigued. Okay, it's time for question number 5. Here we go. Mary threatened to do what to Ruth? Slap her on the cheek, pull her hair and yell at her, hit her with a chair, smack her with a book, or kick her with a huge boot? What do you think? Okay. All right. So, what do you guys think? Mary threatened to do what to Ruth? And threatened means that she's kind of starting to promise that she's going to hurt her, right? So she's giving out signals, information that she's going to hurt her, right? All right. Let's see. Someone says repeat. Ooh, repeat. But you guys can see it, right? Let's see. So repeat, please. Okay, well, we can repeat this. I'll wait for to give the answer a little bit. So Mary threatened to do what to Ruth? In other words, Mary started talking about doing what? What was she going to do to Ruth? All right. And the choices are slap her on the cheek, pull her hair and yell at her, hit her with the chair, smack her with a book, or kick her with a huge boot. All right. Okay, so I'm going to give my answer in 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. All right, the answer is hit her with the chair. Because Mary is an evil woman. All right, let's take a look at the conversation. Make sure that it is what I'm saying. Okay, so Mary, towards the end of the conversation, if you keep talking, I'm going to take this chair and smack you over the head with it. Okay, so let's take a look at our answer choices. Okay, so slap her on the cheek doesn't work because we talked about slap. And if you're using a chair to hit someone, you're not using your hand, right? You're using the chair. Okay, pull her hair and yell at her. She might have the urge to do that, but it didn't say anything about that in the conversation. Smack her with a book. No, she's not going to smack her with a book. She's going to smack her with a chair, right? And kick her with a huge boot. No, didn't talk about that either. But it did talk about using violence, physical violence against her by hitting her, smacking her with the chair. Okay. All right. So, how did you guys do on the quiz? 5 questions. And yeah, how did you guys do? All right. Hopefully we were able to read the questions okay. I tried to zoom out a little bit. And thank you to whoever had said that it was difficult to see. Thank you for letting me know. I think I made it a little bit easier to see. Okay. So, we did a lot today. All right, let's just take a quick review of what we did today. We talked about the idiom. We did it with example, conversation as well. We talked about get fired, ugly. We talked about this picture, peaceful picture with violent women, violent people. All right, we summarized the picture and we did a conversation. To contemplate, we talked about silence is golden. To obliterate, I'm exhausted. I feel achy and I will smack you. And of course, we took a quiz. You guys did great. Okay, so let's check and see if we did what I promised that we were going to do at the beginning. So did we talk about an idiom? I think we did. All right, we get the red check. Did we use a picture and the idiom to create a conversation? Well, yes, we did. Did we use pictures to explain vocabulary and phrases in the conversation? All right, and we gave you other ways to say the phrases and words as well. And of course, we tested you with the quiz. And hopefully, we improved your English. Okay, all right, so that is it for today. I am Michael from Abolingo, and this is my daughter Chloe. You probably see us on Instagram. So that is it for today. I will say one thing. I'll say master your idioms and master your English. Okay. All right. Well, thank you everyone for staying here and participating in the lesson. Your comments really help out. Really helps out a lot. Because then we can get an idea what you want to learn, what you want to know. Okay, let's see. Yildiz Tugay says, 1,000,000 times thank you, sir. We are waiting you with new idioms. You're waiting for me with new idioms. Woo! And maybe more peaceful conversations. Okay. All right. Let me just, Layla Almeida says, yes. Okay. Bhaskar says, thank you so much. Let me put in a comment to you guys to finish up the lesson. Let's see. Thank you. Exclamation mark. I had a wonderful, fabulous, incredible time. Thanks so much. Here we go. Okay, thank you. I had a wonderful, fabulous, incredible time. Thanks so much. Okay, well, that's it for today. And today is Monday, so I will be live on Instagram on Wednesday and then live again on YouTube on Thursday. So, okay. All right. Take care, everyone. And thank you very much for participating in this lesson. All right. See you later.